Welcome to Healthy Cooking today. Today we'll be doing a Newburg sauce with shrimp. As you can see, it's plated and that's look lovely. And we'll also be doing a mixed green salad with a vinaigrette. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome to Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff today. Today I will be doing two different recipes. I will be doing a vinaigrette from fresh herbs and fresh citrus. And I also will be doing a Newburg sauce in a double boil. It'll be a little bit different from traditional Newburg sauce. I'll also be adding some shrimp to it today because I want everybody to eat a little healthy. As you can see, a few things around me. I have some lettuce, a mixed green lettuce. And it has 5 different types of lettuce: spinach, radicchio, endive, iceberg, and one more other lettuce in there. All right. First, let me get started with the vinaigrette because I think the salad goes best first. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the fresh basil that I have here, and I'm gonna cut it and put it in this blender, right along with a little bit of lemon. Then I'm gonna take the peeling and the juice and the seeds and all of it and put it in there, because you want to get 100% use out of the product. But that's one of the things that we'll be doing. And all the components that goes well with it, such as oil, vinegar, and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you which type of vinegar to use, the best vinegar to use for a vinaigrette and the best oil to use for a vinaigrette. That works best. All right, first, let me get me some gloves on, because ready to eat food, you got to have ready to eat food. When you're having ready to eat food, you gotta have gloves on. All right. You all excited about this vinaigrette or something different? You know, a lot of people eat the ranch that's high in calories and fat, but you know, those vinegar-based dressings are probably the best for you because they burn through your system a lot faster than a ranch dressing or Thousand Island dressing, those creamy type dressings. You may notice I already washed this and patted it dry. You know, anytime you have a fresh herb, you have to wash it, because it does have crumbs and grains of sand on it from the garden and stuff. So I'm getting a fresh start on these, and if you ever smelled basil or anything, matter of fact, if you have any lemon basil, would be better. But it's just a basic basil. There's an original flavor to it. All right, I'm gonna set this to the side here and get my knife out. And as you can see, I got the leaves somewhat like that green on green. I'm gonna hold it like that so you can get a better view. That green and green. Since I'm just rough cutting it, and I'm gonna put it in my blender. Notice I'm taking the top off, the small cap part of the blender off. Most people take the whole thing off and add their product, in which I took it off just to show, you know, when you're blending stuff, you don't necessarily have to take the whole thing apart. But that's one of the safety valves, and it's pretty unique to do that. With this is just a regular standard blender you can use at your home. Anyone could do it. Let me reach over here and get my other components. I like to add my oil. This is a vegetable oil here. You may notice I got this stuff in a white bowl. Between water and vinegar, they both look the same. So I have to write me a letter on it so I know which one is which. This is my water, which regular tap water. Nothing fancy about it. in my vinegar. I'm gonna go ahead and add my water first. Then my oil. That was 1 cup of water. And I'm gonna add my oil to it. Now my vinegar. That equal to a quart. Right there, 1 quart of product. Right here I have some white pepper. I'm gonna add white pepper to it. Just a little bit, very little, a tap. Now I'm gonna add my vinegar, my basil to the product. And I'm gonna blend it up. I hope the noise is not too loud for you guys and stuff. You can see the nice color of green that began to turn from that basil. I cut that off, and now while that's set and emulsify together and all that flavor get there together from that basil, and I got my lemon here, my fresh squeezed lemon. You can also use lemon juice. Lemon juice, if you get a lemon juice, use real lemon juice. It seems to be a lot stronger in flavor. The acidity to it is a lot stronger than, I guess, those powdered or concentrated. All right, and let me cut this in half. Take this lid off here like I mentioned to you earlier. A lot of people like to heat up their product, but this is a good way to extract most of your juice out of your lemon or orange or any other fruit like this. They say it's best to take it and put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. 10 seconds only, and it'll drop all the juice out of it. You'll get 50% more juice out of the product. But here, I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze it, put it in here, as you can see. Now, I'm gonna rough cut it. I just rough cut it somewhat so I can blend it in. And you may notice I'm using the peeling and all that, because this right here has more flavor on the outer edges of it than this here. And it's a lot more healthier for you. Now, drop that down in there like so. Take my cap, put back on. Anybody can smell that lemon out there? That basil? I hope so, because it sure is smelling good. At least to me, if you like lemon. All right. Wow, that's really good. I can really taste the fresh basil. And the basil and that lemon and the zest of this lemon here. Wow. Now, I'm gonna be smart. Take a little bit. I got a big bowl of salad here for all you guys to share with me. But I'm gonna go ahead and taste a little bit on air. This is the first time. I rarely do this, eat on air. Let me do this too, so you can get a better view. Look at the richness and the green of the basil in there. You may look closer and you may see a little bit of zest of the lemon that's been blended up in there. and it adds a lot of body to it. And bring this over, let you see it just a little bit. Mix it in real well. If you like chicken or grilled shrimp or something like so, this would be a good afternoon snack or late evening meal. You know, you don't feel like cooking a big meal or something like that. Or if you got company coming over. Look, I'm making a mess. Taste just a little bit of it myself. And the lettuce, a big leaf lettuce. I'm gonna use the same fork I've been using. That's real good. I know they say don't talk with your mouth full, but that's good. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some shrimp and saute off a little bit of shrimp to go with this so you can do a plate presentation so you can see. Let my pan heat up here. And I'm gonna take about 4 or 5 shrimps and saute them off lightly in this, what I have is butter. The reason I'm using butter instead of oil, because that butter gonna add flavor to that shrimp itself. And it'll turn it a good golden pink, not golden brown, but pink. And all that natural flavor will be there. Change these gloves. You know, out in the community, since I've been doing the show, a lot of people see me out in the community and they say, Jeffrey, you need to liven up a little bit. You look boring on TV. And I'm like, okay, how do you fix that? So I'm gonna talk a little bit more. I'm gonna step out of my box, as they say, and do things a little bit different. That's one reason you saw me eating on the air. And that's traditionally not me. You notice the golden pink, the pinkness of the shrimp already versus that side of it. Even that smells good. Either that or I'm hungry one of the two. I don't want you to do this at home. Take your chef knife and turn your shrimp over. But while that is simmering, I'm gonna take a little bit of this salad here, put on here, like so. And one of these forks. That looked good. That looked really good. It's a good little appetizer. If you're entertaining guests, you know, 2 or 3 people, maybe even 6 or 8 guests, you know, this is something you can do. You know, with a nice glass of wine or white wine, red wine, prefer white. We go with a little seafood. And cut that off. I don't want it to set off no alarm or anything. That there. And a little bit of this lemon. So when people bite into it, let you look at that. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Just with vinaigrette, fresh lemon, fresh basil, all those products there. Those are healthy for you. And the oil I use is a vegetable oil. If you use the olive oil or extra virgin olive oil, those are good. But once the dressing settles, it tends to clump up a little bit and get stiff on you and get heavy. But a vegetable oil is light and it's a lot easier to work with. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about the next product that I have, which is a seafood Newburg sauce. Well, Newburg sauce, and I'm adding some sherry to it. Got a little alcohol this time. Not the drink, but a little alcohol. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff. Like I mentioned earlier, I will be back and we'll be making a Newburg sauce. This Newburg sauce is a double boiled Newburg sauce. The recipe calls for sherry in it. It's a simple sauce. It takes a few minutes to do. It also has evaporated skim milk and skim milk in the product. So that right there is healthy for you also. Me being a diabetic, if you're a diabetic, those things work for you. Anytime you can get something that's low fat, it works. All right, well, let me go ahead and get started here. And I definitely will let you taste that. All right. First of all, I'm gonna let my water heat up a little bit. Here's a double boil. I'm using a bowl, a saucepan with a quarter of a thing of water in it. So once it comes to a boil, normally people would put a little salt in there. The salt in the water will make it activate a little bit faster. But once I get started, I'm gonna take my whisk here, add my sherry. This is my sherry to the product. And then I'm gonna add the cream products and let those things come to a boil. And then my spices, which is mace. This is what mace looked like there. This is spice. And white pepper, a little bit of white pepper. A little bit of cornstarch here. And this is my evaporated milk. Skim milk, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. That was skim milk. This is my evaporated milk, right there. And I also have 2 egg yolks to go in the product. The egg yolks gonna pretty much bind everything together and make the sauce hold together because you have a lot of liquids here. All right, just about there on that water. Okay. The shrimp, as I told you earlier, this is my shrimp right here. And it's a tiger shrimp, a blue tail tiger shrimp, tail off, peeled in the vein, what we do here. In a lot of places, farm-raised shrimp, and a lot of times people get them from Asia and even the Gulf shores, those areas there for where that shrimp come from. Well, let me go ahead and get started on that sauce because I'm quite sure somebody out there ready to eat. If I can hear somebody say, yeah, that they're ready to eat, because I know I am. It's almost dinner time somewhere. Yep. A nice salad, a nice shrimp. Okay. This is a quarter of a cup of sherry. And let that sherry sit in there and then it reduce a little bit after it get good and hot. Once it reduces, it evaporate a lot of the alcohol out of the product. And that way you don't get that big strong bite of sherry. Sherry is a good product that you use on a lot of things other than drinking. Onion soups to flavor fish, even some desserts, so like a mousse. We use sherry in that. And some of us, like if you get a spice cake, that's good for a spice cake for those who like to bake. I'm not a baker, I'll be the first to tell you that. I'm not a baker. I let the bakers do the baking and I do the other stuff. But I can eat some baking stuff, I can tell you that. Now since the sherry is in there, I'm gonna go ahead and put this product, which is the evaporated milk. Yeah, I see you moving a little bit. There we go. I hope that's not too much noise on anybody. If I was in the kitchen, I sure enough be making some noise, but I'm here at Vernon Woods and what we feed people well, I hope, and people enjoy it. But you know, people come from all over the place to Vernon Woods, and here's what some of the comments said. This is one of the best restaurants in town. You know, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's pretty neat to know, you know. You can come to a retirement community and get the best food in town. And some of the guests that come here have said, well, wow, this is the best food in the region. You know, and they come from northern Atlanta, some from Boston, some from all over the country. I think one of our residents had guests from California, and they're originally from here, and they wanted to get back here and get some of the southern food. And you know, well, we do more than just southern food. We are Vernon Woods, and we try to please a lot of palates, and that's not easy, but it's fun, and that's one of the beauties of my job. Sound like we got some things going on over here. Hear a little rumbling. I hope you can hear it out there too. I wish, you know, like Emerald Lagasse say, smell-o-vision, but you know, we're alive. We should be able to smell this soon, you know. Those spices that I was telling you about, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of those spices in there. So as it heats up, the spices will begin to marinate into the product. That's one of the beauties of it. And that's a little bit of mace. And here's a little bit of the black pepper. I'm putting the same amount of black pepper as I did the mason there, so it won't overpower everything. And as you can see, double broiling takes a while. Certain things have to come up to a certain temperature so everything can marinate together. You know, I wish I knew who thought of double boiling. I wouldn't be burning so many pots, you know, back in the kitchen and stuff. Now, while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the shrimp end of it. So the shrimp will be ready, and the sauce will be ready, and we'll be ready to eat. You know, so everything will marinate together, because I already got the salad ready. I just don't have any dessert or wine. Maybe the next time I do a show, I need to have some wine or something there so people can sample a little bit of it throughout the day. Oh, look at that. You see those things? I don't know, you guys can't see it out there, but to see the perch of the bubbles and all that kind of stuff from the sauce itself begin to perch. Oh, there go that milk to bring it up to temperature. Then once that get going real good, then I'm gonna fold my eggs over in there. Yeah. Go ahead and get this shrimp going. Oh yeah, that's looking real good, both of them. You can smell that shrimp? All right, while that shrimp doing this thing, I'm gonna stir this up and begin to boil real well. Now to add that egg yolk to it. You may notice I broke the egg yolks so I wouldn't have scrambled eggs in there. It wouldn't be a good sauce with scrambled eggs. Oh, that began to look good. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me hold it up a little bit. Hold it down so you can see that. Now that smells good. Wow. You know, the cornstarch. People say it's not nice to add cornstarch to a hot product because it begin to taper up a lot. Wow. Cut those guys off. All right. I think that ought to do it on this, on that sauce. I hope everybody's really enjoyed it. Sorry it took so long. Like I said, a double broiled sauce like this takes a while. It takes a few minutes. But with that being said, I think it smells good. It came out good. Hope people enjoy it. Hope people try it at home. And thank you. That's the end of our show.